Hi everybody, this is Danny at Danigirlart, and this is lesson 3 of Art from the Heart. I hope you've had the opportunity to look at my 2 previous recordings. If you haven't, please go back and enjoy, and I hope you like and subscribe. So I'm starting in a journal. I have begun my other lessons in this as well. It's not my favorite journal, but I am going with it and embracing its imperfections as we should with everything in life. So I have some painter's tape here and I am masking off a border here, and I have done this with the previous lessons. I don't know if this will be a common theme throughout my book. I don't really have a plan, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I like that satisfaction of peeling it back when I'm completed it. So make sure you rub down nice and firmly so that you don't have any color seep underneath. And also make sure you're using a tape that is going to peel back up. You don't want to tear your paper. So this is a mixed media project, and I am incorporating Zentangle with this as well. So you will see Zentangle patterns throughout. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a pencil and I'm going to make 2 arches here, and this is a technique called tucker, and we're going to be tucking our pattern behind these 2 little arches. Picking up a micron pen, anyone that you want, I have a PN here, I'm going to trace over those 2 lines, and you didn't need to do pencil first, it's just a suggestion if this is something new to you, and then redefine. So I'm going to be using the step out called Heart Spray. And I thought this was a really lovely one to add behind Tucker. It's a simple pattern too, and I really enjoy the simplicity of it. But by adding different mediums and color, we're going to really bring it to life here. So you can see what the step out is for this on tanglepatterns.com. But I am drawing it here. I'm starting with it at the bottom of the page, coming behind those 2 little arches, not drawing over them. And they have these little springs, these little like twig-like shapes or lines, I should say, have hearts coming off of them. So I'm placing 1, but I feel like we're going to need a few. That looks a little lonely there. So I'm going to have another one coming off to the right. And look at your spacing. Yours might be different than mine. So I invite you to find where you have those white spots that are left blank on your page, and that's where you should go in and start to add some more. So coming through, adding some smaller ones, varying the size as well, will give you a little bit more interest. All right, so let's do a third one. I do like odd numbers, and you can make this as full as you'd like. I'm going to have one to the left. And this one I'm going to have a little bit of hollowing, which is drawing behind. So this heart is coming behind the one from that first little spring that we drew. And I'm going to have another piece coming to the left. And then in Heart Spray, they add some additional hearts floating in between the spaces. So look for some open areas and add in some warped shaped hearts. They're not perfectly round hearts. They have a lot of character to them. I quite enjoy the shapes of these. So I've decided to use some watercolors in the background. And like I said, this is not the greatest journal/sketchbook that I have. The pages are not watercolor paper, or are they mixed media paper. but I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to have a little bit of a splotchy look to it. It's not going to blend well, and I'm okay with that. So you do what calls to you. I'm just dropping a little bit of water on the top of these because they are dry. Just help them flow a little bit more. I'm going to use some greens for the background, some lighter greens, medium greens, like a greenish blue. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint this background. All right, so here are my colors. I'm using some greens, light, darks, and medium watercolors. And I'm going in and I'm painting the backgrounds of this. And again, this paper is not great paper for watercolor, but I'm making do, and I don't mind that it's wrinkling a little bit, but a watercolor paper or mixed media paper would be the proper one to use for this. I'm just happy today to be in my art studio taking a little bit of time to film this because I've been having some complications with my arm, and leaning on my desk, while that seems very effortless, has been very uncomfortable for me. So I haven't been able to do quite as much art as I would like, but I'm still drawing at least 10 minutes a day. And I also have to remember that during the week, Monday through Friday, I am drawing almost the entire day with my middle school students. So it is a weekend right now. It's Saturday evening that I'm recording this. We're getting ready for some snow. It's wintry outside, and I've spent a lot of the day just kind of resting my arm and relaxing. So it's nice to be here right now. There are other colors that you want, go for it. I don't have perfection here. I have a little bit of this watercolor seeping into some of the hearts, but that's okay. I'm going to have other layers. And my theme the past few months have been embrace the mess. So I am not looking for perfection. It's more about the process and feeling happy during this and just the joy of creating. And of course, I mean, it's nice when you have a nice final product, but I just am enjoying having some time to myself right now. I've let the watercolors dry. You could dry it also with a heat wand or a hair dryer if you don't have paint that's too runny. And I've taken out some shades of pinks for the hearts. These are koi, they are water based, so you really do want that background dry. And I want you to think about balance. And what I mean by that is when you choose a color, this color I'm choosing right now and I'm adding on, I'm going to put it in a few places spread out throughout the hearts. So I'm just calling the hearts right now, but I would probably, I mean, you can put them right next to each other, but my recommendation would be to have balance and spread them out throughout the series of hearts. And then I'm going to take, when I'm done with these colors, I'm going to take a gray and I'm going to add a very light gray to the tucker. Okay, so once that is all dry, again, they are very wet, so you want to make sure your markers are dry. I'm going to move some to some General's chalk pastels. Using shades of purples and pinks, I'm going to add some shadows on one side of the heart, not worrying about a light source as we don't have a concern with that in Zentangle. And I'm going to use my tortillon to go in and blend those. Maybe a little bit of graphite on the ones that the color is not picking up as much. Next to the tucker, I'm going to on the outside add a little bit of green pastel and use my tortillon to blend. And also add some graphite to exaggerate those shadows so it looks like it's curving around. Adding a little bit on the tucker as well. With the micron pen, I'm going to go in and add a little darkness underneath the tucker to give the illusion of a shadow as well. And add a white highlight with some charcoal in the center, as well as a little bit more shading under the tucker. Give it more of a 3D look. All right, so here's my white jelly roll, and I'm adding some just little skippy lines around the hearts. Everything's really starting to come together now. Super simple, but how pretty is this? Just love it. Do feel like I need a border though. So I'm gonna go in with a micron, a black micron, and add a wavy line around all four sides. And then I'll take an Identi pen, and this is called bead line. This is also a pattern from Zentangle, so you can look that up on Tangle Patterns as well. I'm going to add this going around, just a little extra. And anything else you want to add in, please go for it. I can't wait to see yours. I hope you post and you share with me what you created today, but most important, I'm just happy you took the time for yourself, and I hope you enjoyed. So this is the satisfaction here, peeling back, seeing the finished product, and voila, there you go. I love it. I'm gonna just add my signature and February 2025.